to the Scottish Football Forums podcast. Tonight I'm once again joined by my co-host Laurie.
Hello again.
Hello Laurie. And we're also joined by a special guest this evening, and he's a writer for the blog section of the site, and he's also an active member of the forum. Hello John.
Hi Craig.
Alright, how
Evening,
you doing,
Laurie.
John?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yourself?
Aye, good. It was good to meet up with you last night.
It was, aye. A few drinks had been had.
yeah. Well, hopefully I wasn't too drunk when we were speaking, but yeah.
No, it's all right.
The fact that you can't remember, Craig, would maybe indicate that you were.
Well, it was the day of the Scotland game, obviously, and I'd started drinking at 10 o'clock on the train through, and what was it, about 9 o'clock at night?
It was just before 10 o'clock that I met you.
Yeah, I'd had a few beers.
You were still sleeping, so that's one thing. That's a positive.
Yeah, I think I ended up getting the train home after that. I can't remember. Because I think I'd lost my mates at that point.
You can't remember. Well, at least you got there. That's the main thing.
Not sure. So yeah, Scotland played the Czech Republic yesterday, and well, we all know that they drew 2 each, and I was at the game. John, you were at the game as well?
I was indeed, yes. Yeah.
I thought it was a good atmosphere on the run up to the games and when we went ahead, but well, the game ended with some crazy cheat towards the referee. It was disappointing.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that there was disappointment at the end, and I don't think there's any doubt that there was a bit of cheating going on behalf of the Czech Republic striker. I don't think there's really any question or any need to see it much because he went down extremely easily. There was no touch. Unfortunately, these things happen. It was gutting, and I was very angry at the time. I kind of thought afterwards that maybe Levein should have referred back to our overall performance a bit. I think someone said that he's described us as terrific, and to be honest, I thought we were a long way away from terrific. I thought we were poor throughout. It's an awful way to lose a game, no matter how you've performed throughout, but I have to say I was disappointed overall, not just in the manner of the goal which robbed us of the win, but just the manner of the performance overall.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I was behind the goal when the penalty incident took place, and I just couldn't believe it. For it to be so late in the game as well. I knew that the 2 goals we had got, they'd come out the blue really. I don't think we had many shots on goal other than the actual goals. I think maybe Miller had a headed cross that was caught by the keeper, but other than that, we didn't really force any saves. So when they got the penalty, I just thought, no, that's it. There's no way we're going to come back. And I was actually surprised that we did go up front and attack. And Berra, well, I'm not sure if he got clipped or not, but I would have thought that he would have stayed on his feet if he had the chance to, because he could have got a shot away. There was a couple of players at the back post he maybe could have dinked the ball to. So I just don't know why he would have went down. And for the referee, the highlights show that pretty much as Berra's fallen, the referee's going to his pocket to get the yellow card. I don't know. I don't know why he'd make that decision so quickly to say that it was a dive. Yeah, maybe say it wasn't a penalty, but to say it's a dive, it's a bit strong.
It's a brave decision, I thought, in the last minute to not give the penalty.
Yeah, especially after the way he was getting treated after they got their penalty. Yeah,
I'm surprised it wasn't given just simply because of the penalty that had just been given. I think if that had been at any other time in the match and the incident previously hadn't happened, I don't think we would have been too angry at not getting a penalty. I think there was a touch, but I don't think there's any doubt that Berra threw himself down fairly dramatically. Yeah. It's one of those that I really hate. It's when the player gets touched, but you can tell the touch didn't cause him to fall over because he takes another stride, and then he's already, then he's thought, oh, I can go down now, get a penalty, and then there comes it's those where they drag their feet or they kind of make themselves trip themselves up type thing they do, and it was disappointing simply because of the decision that had just happened at the other end. to be honest, looking at that on its own, I could see why the referee would make that call, even if technically it's a penalty. It's just overall, I thought the referee was pretty terrible. He should have given the Czechs a penalty in the first half. I don't know how he didn't give that one because he was right in front of it. Charlie
Yeah,
Adam,
that was Adam. Yeah,
nowhere near the ball. It was. I don't even know why he went in like that. To be honest, it was a bizarre way to try and tackle in the box. And we got a let off with that one, but obviously that doesn't make up for the fact that, you know, right on full time almost giving them a penalty like that. I wouldn't want to dwell on the decision too much then, because, you know, no matter what you can do, we can complain about the ref and we can, you know, whatever right to FIFA, UEFA, try and get him maybe rested for a couple of games if that's what you say.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, decisions.
Arrested.
Yeah, that too, if you could. But I would prefer just to concentrate on Scotland's performance overall, because, you know, the one decision, as bad as it was, these things happen, but we shouldn't be putting ourselves in a position where we're susceptible to that, because, to be honest, the Czechs should have been comfortably ahead before we went 1-0 up. They should have been comfortably ahead by the time they equalised. So I just thought overall we're poor. I don't know what Levein's trying to do at times with the way he sets the team out. We seem to be far too negative considering we're at Hampden. And Czech Republic aren't a great team anymore. I think man for man, we've possibly even got better players than them. But,
Yeah, on paper, definitely, I would agree with that. Yeah.
but they pressed us better, I thought. They moved it about better. And we just seem so rigid. And I've not been impressed with it. And as I said to you guys earlier, I honestly don't think we've played. I can't think of one good performance in this campaign so far, apart from when we were 2-0 down to Spain. But, you know, that's typical Scotland. It's not the games against. It's not gallantly losing to Spain that we need to do. We need to beat Lithuania and comfortably beat Liechtenstein and beat teams like the Czech Republic,
Yeah.
but we don't. And there's a lot of positivity about Levein. And as much as I want him to succeed, I don't know what he seems to get a lot more leeway, I think, because of his relationship with the SFA, his relationship with the media as well, I think, is often highlighted. But it's been the worst start to a campaign in almost 2 decades. Even Bertie Votes started better. And I was actually looking at the Bertie Votes start, because, don't get me wrong, Bertie Votes, sometimes I think he got a bit too harshly treated, but at the same time, it was a dreadful period for Scotland. But you look at his games, and in that campaign, we beat Iceland away, we beat Iceland home. We got beat by Lithuania away, but we drew with the Germans at home. I remember we played pretty well at game, beat the Faroes at home, and then we beat Lithuania at home as well. And we actually got to the playoffs. So make of that what you will. I'm not trying to say that I think the team was playing better under Votes, but I just think Levein seems to get a lot of leeway with the way we're playing. And to be honest, I don't think it'll last unless we vastly improve quickly.
Yeah, there's been calls for his head, really. There was a topic on the forum almost straight away following the draw, saying should he be sacked or should he be backed? And, well, I think right now anyway, I'm in the camp where I think that he should be backed at least until the end of this campaign. I think we are 5 points behind the Czechs with a game in hand, so we can bring that back to 2 points of difference if we win their game in hand. I think it's going to come down to a must-win against Spain, which I think is our final game. Yeah, a must-win away to Spain as well. Yeah, but I think we need to really leave it until the end of the campaign before we decide, because right now, however unlikely, we are still in it.
Yeah, well, maybe still in it, but realistically, it's not going to happen, is it?
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's done. Let's face it. That's it. It's pretty much done. I think even if we won our 2 games and the Czechs lost their games and we finished ahead of them, I don't know if that would even be enough to get into the playoff. Because does everyone get into the playoff now? I know they didn't used to. I can't remember.
I don't think so. Is there not nine groups
Yeah,
and only the top 8, I think, get in? I think.
To be honest, we wouldn't get through a playoff against a second team anyway at the moment. I think that's pretty much over. I mean, to be honest, we play Lithuania on Tuesday, but Lithuania are terrible. We should beat them still, but I don't think it mean anything. And that's the problem. You know, we went to Lithuania in the first game, and it wasn't the worst result in the world, but Lithuania aren't even as good as they once were. You know, and actually, no more Lithuanian football. I support Hearts, so I'm looking forward to Tuesday. I actually get to see a couple of Hearts players in an international game. But I think the way we played in Lithuania, the way we played at home to Liechtenstein as well. I mean, that was one of the worst performances. That's the thing. The one game we've won, we were absolutely dreadful against a team full of, with all due respect to Liechtenstein, but most of them are postmen and builders and whatnot. And it's like, we're an international team. We got players who play regularly in the English Premier League, and for Rangers and Celtic week in week out. Why did they play so badly together in that situation? And I know that I think it's a different argument. I know a couple of people said to me, because I was doing my usual kind of whining on the forum last night. A couple of people said, well, we're just not that good. But I don't. I can accept that at club level when we're comparing our teams. But when you look at a team where we've got, Bardsley plays week in, week out in the Premier League. Fletcher, although he hasn't played for Man United recently, plays a lot for Man United. We've got a lot of experienced players in there, and a lot that play in English top flight. So I don't buy that when we play Liechtenstein that we should be struggling like that. We should comfortably beat a team like that, and we should go to Lithuania and have the confidence to attack. But it's Craig Levein, and I endured a couple of years in his Hearts manager. Endured's the wrong word, because he did well. He did well with us, but he was never someone who liked to play great football. He was always keep it tight, direct, and punt the ball as hard as you can to Mark de Vries. So I'm just sceptical as to how good our football is going to be under him. But I think I don't want him sacked yet, because for one, I don't know if anyone else would do any better, or who else would even take the job. To be honest, it's improvement from Burley, although that wasn't really hard. So for now, I mean, it was Sheeny Bob who started the Levein sacked or back thread. And he was basically just saying his overriding feeling is Levein must carry the can. The lineup against the Czechs was nothing short of shameful. His behaviour thereafter towards the press was cringeworthy. Does this guy have what it takes to be successful national boss, or is he the best we can attract? I think Black Dog immediately tried to divert the topic to Oasis being on Sky Arts 1, which probably would have been a good idea. Bundy as well said, has he actually improved the team? Started off very poor, but has got better. The players are hardly world beaters, and Scottish football is on its behind right now. I'll just censor that.
Yep.
That isn't Levein's fault. I doubt anyone could do much better with the players available. I sympathise with that. Well, empathise with that to a degree. I think he has improved it, and I don't think we're dreadful. I just don't think we're ever doing that great. I just never see much in games that inspires me, to be honest. And I know it's Scotland, and you don't really expect to be inspired, but I expect a little better.
I think one of the problems with Levein is he came out with this 4-6-0 formation that, well, I think I think it was the Sun that broke the news that they were going to play that formation, and it's just like, nah, you can't play without a striker. It just goes against everything that the years of watching football, and then they did go without a striker, and it didn't work out. But I think the fact that Levein is since continually argued for it and said, I was right almost. He's definitely not admitting that he was wrong in choosing that formation. And I think if he just held his hands up and say, yeah, I made a mistake. I thought it would work and it didn't. But he just, I don't know if it's arrogance. He doesn't seem to be that kind of guy. He doesn't come across as arrogance, but to continually say that it wasn't the wrong thing to do, it does come across as arrogance.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. His stubbornness after that annoyed me almost more than the lineup itself.
Yeah, maybe stubbornness is better word than arrogance.
I think you've got to hold your hands up sometimes, and it annoyed me a lot after the game because I don't think anyone could say that he didn't get it. That it wasn't wrong. I think afterwards it was quite clearly. I'm sure he knew himself they got it wrong, but he was no, it was working until they scored. Well, that's the whole problem, isn't it? You went there to not concede. I don't think he went there at all to play a game, and I think 4-6-0 criticising the formation is maybe not the problem as such, because some people argue that Barcelona play that, but the problem is we're not Barcelona. We don't have players. Barcelona don't play with a striker pretty much. They just swapping and moving, but we don't have players to do that. That's the problem. You have to play with what you've got. You have to play to your strengths.